Hi, thanks for joining Pioneer. My name is Aaron Pence. I'm from the Norman Central Library. I appreciate you spending a few minutes with me. Now we have made our word and we've made it dance around. I hope you spent some time going and exploring a little bit about how you can make it dance on your own because it's pretty neat. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to fix it because take a look at this word. That doesn't even say anything. What does 3LLOH mean? That's nothing. We need to fix it. Our word has gotten all in a jumble. It's pretty easy to fix once you understand how Scratch thinks about problems like this. And it's all about the position of your word. Over on the right, you need to be able to see two things. The first is your staging area where you can see the word. The second is your sprite area where you can see the various sprites. You're going to need to be able to make a couple of simple changes, and then we're going to need to be able to add in some scripts. Here's the way it works. Everything in Scratch has an absolute position, has a place where it is, and you can see the place where it is. This is a little bit tricky to get started with, but once you get the idea, it'll make total sense. Over in the staging area, it's just a big white box. There's letters inside of it. But if I wanted to tell the computer where something inside that box was, how would I tell it? I wouldn't be able to say, put it on the left, Joe. The computer doesn't know where the left is. I wouldn't be able to say, move it up. It may not know what up means if I don't tell it what up means. But what's been done for us in Scratch on the back side is they've already made a position for everything in the staging area. They've created what are called coordinates. The coordinates are a set of two numbers that describe on the left and right part of the screen and the up and down part of the screen exactly where something is. I'm going to show you an example. Take a look at your L right here, or whichever letter. As you move it up and down, if you look down in the sprites area, you can see two numbers changing. One is the X number. You see how right now mine says left, right, X, minus 15. And the next number says up, down, Y, 69. What that means is that the coordinates, the map coordinates for that letter, my sprite, are those numbers right there. As I move it left or right, you can watch the X value change. Right in the middle is 0. Over on the far left is negative, I think 240 is the biggest it can get. Maybe it looks like I can go to 250. Cool. And over on the right, the biggest that I can get, I believe, is 250 again. Let's see. It's not Haven for me. Yeah, I can get it all the way to 250. The left and right position of the sprite is determined by the X coordinate. With X at 0, it's right in the middle, left and right-wise. With X at minus 250, it's all the way on the left side of the screen. With X at plus 250, it's all the way on the right side of the screen. It's the same for up and down. That's the Y coordinate. If I say that Y is 0, that means that the L is right in the middle of the up and down part of the screen. If I say that Y is very large, I think you can make it all the way to 210, looks like, 205. Then it goes all the way up to the top of the screen. And if I go all the way down, it's going to be negative 205. The L's position is described by those coordinates. You can also type into those boxes in case you're interested. So if you want it exactly in the center of your screen, here's what you do. You click in the X coordinate, you hit backspace a few times and type in the number 0. You click in the Y coordinate box, hit backspace a few times and type in 0. And look, my L is exactly in the center of the screen. Cool. Now, what this means for you today is, remember, we're trying to make a reset button. I want to be able to hit one button, and have all my letters snip, 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 go right back to exactly their original place. The way you do it is we're going to make a script for our letters over here in our scripting area. And the script is going to say, when this button is pressed, go to exactly this location. So here's what you do. For my L, I believe this is my L that is gliding around randomly on the screen. So whenever I run my program, my L just ends up in weird spots, right? If I stop, well, there's my L, it's right there. If I want to fix my L, here's how I do it. First, I'm going to get my L exactly where I want it. Not sure exactly where that is, but I'm going to take a guess that it's right here. I can always change it later. Let's say it's right here. And I'm going to notice that my coordinates down here in my sprite area say x minus 22 and y 10. Perfect. Now, on the left, I'm going to go to events. Remember, that's always the first thing in any script, the events. And I think I'm going to use this second block, when space key pressed. Space key is going to be my reset button. You can change this. It doesn't have to be the space key. If you click where it says space, you can change it to any key on your keyboard. Anyone. I'm going to leave it at space because I'm lazy, but you can change it to any key you want. It can be X, or it can be the number 7, or whatever. I'm going to leave it at when space key pressed. Next, I'm going to go to the motion blocks, and I'm going to grab the go to block right here. It is the 5th block in the motion blocks. It's right under go to random position. This one says go to x minus 22, y 10. You recognize those numbers? Those are exactly the same numbers. Exactly the same numbers that we had just picked for the position of our L. When you grab this block originally, the go to xy block, it picks the coordinates where the letter, or the sprite, I should say, where the sprite is already located. That's perfect. Now watch, if I run my program, and then I stop it, I can hit the space bar, and my L goes back exactly to where I want it to go. Perfect. Super cool. All we need to do is do that with the rest of our letters. So I'm going to try my second L, because I can position it right next to my first L. Let's get it in spot, and notice it's at 44, 10. Those are my coordinates, x44, y10. So I'll go to events, when space key pressed, go to motion, go to XY, snap them together. Let's see if it works. I'll run my program so my L moves a little. When I hit spacebar, snap. My L's are back in the same spot. Perfect. Next, I'm going to do the same thing with the E. Let's get the E in position. It is right there. Negative 93 for my X and 9 for my Y. So the exact same thing. Events, when space key pressed, motion, go to X minus 93, Y 9. Let's run the program for a second. Stop it. Hit the space bar. Perfect. My E and both my L's go back. Let's fix our H too. Same thing. Drag the H into position. Note your coordinates. Minus 164 and 8. Events. Go to when space key pressed. Motion. Go to XY block. Run your program for a second. Stop it. Spacebar. You're probably noticing a problem with the E and the O now. Do you see what's happened? Look, my E is backwards. It went where I told it to go. It went exactly to that spot. But the E's not pointed the right direction. If you remember on one of the earlier videos, whenever we told it to point in direction 90 over and over, it did nothing. The reason it did nothing is because it was pointed in the direction 90, and it just kept pointing in that direction over and over and over and over and over again. But what we want in this case is we actually need to use that block. We're going to tell it when we hit the space key, I want you to go to this location, and I want you to orient yourself the right way, to turn to the right position. So, click on your E in your sprites area. I've clicked on the E down here in the bottom right. You can see it's highlighted in blue now. And then over here in the when space key pressed, go to X minus 93, Y 9 block. I want to add another block to that. In the motion blocks, about halfway down, you'll see the point in direction 90 block. That's perfect. Bring it out, click it into your script when space key pressed, hit the space key to see if it worked, and there. Now it doesn't matter. If I stop my E early, my E's already pointed the right way, so when I snap back into position, it still looks like it's the right way. Or, if I snap it late, when the E is backwards, when I hit spacebar, it goes exactly right back where I wanted it. There's one last letter to use. You notice how my O is tilted? You actually already know exactly how to fix that. You might not think you do because it feels different, but you've already done it once. Click on your O down in your sprites area. You don't actually need to move the O. It never moves. It just spins. You can move it if you want to. If you have a reset position for it, that's totally fine with me. What I'm going to do, click on the events blocks, bring out when space key pressed. Then go to motion, And if you remember, when we needed to turn the E so that it wasn't backwards, we used the point and direction 90 block. The exact same block works perfectly for the O. The O is just not going at 180 degrees. It's not going backwards, forwards, backwards, forwards. What it's doing is it's turning a little bit here and there. Well, if we bring out point and direction 90 and hit spacebar, it goes straight up and down. Now, we can run our crazy word dance party as much as we want. Whenever we're done, we stop it, and if we needed to say hello, we hit the spacebar. Comes right back to normal. You've reset it to a 0 position. That's perfect. That's a great job. This is tricky stuff, working on these coordinates that you're doing. This is great work. Make sure to take a trip to go talk to your parents about coordinates. I'm sure they can talk to you about it, and if you want some help with it, go play Battleship. It'll make sense when you're done. Otherwise, thanks so much. You did a great job. The next video, the next one is our last one on this particular Scratch adventure where we're going to be making a dance party. Thanks. See you then.